guys, what we have here is a 1973 Evinrude 18 horsepower tiller motor that 99% sure runs like a champ. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. The guy started up for me, cranked right up on the second crank. It has new points in it, new plugs, new plug wires. Carb's been rebuilt, still has 150 compression on it. What we do need is a new prop. The prop is ordered. That's on the way. And once we get it running and purring like a kitten, we're going to paint it back to the original factory colors, get the factory decals on it, and see if we can get this baby running. We got to change the lube in the bottom, the oil. The water pump propeller has been changed a year ago, so it's in really, really good shape. So we're going to work on this thing and see what happens, and just stay tuned. You can see the top has already been primed. He started process of restoring it, but we're going to get it going really nice here. But before we do that, we're just going to get us some carb cleaner and get this cleaned up a little bit in here. It's in really good shape, though. I mean, excellent condition. Okay, so what we're doing here, I just have some brake cleaner and some carb cleaner. Just trying to get the grease and the dirt off of the outside of the motor. But this thing already ran like a champ and really didn't need any engine work at all. It still had 150 compression in it. I mean, the thing was like brand new. I don't know how many hours were on it, but mechanically, I mean, it is sound. Very, very sound. I mean, I got a heck of a deal on it. So I definitely can't complain. But at this point, I still wasn't sure how well it was going to run, other than it ran on the first crank. But it has not been water tested yet. It hasn't been put on the boat. But we find all that out. Right here, I am draining the oil out of the lower part of the motor, which is by the prop. So you got to keep that oil changed. It's gear oil, marine gear oil. And right here I'm just flushing it out with some PB Blaster, making sure I get all the old out. It wasn't really milky too much, so it didn't seem like it had any leaks in the seals or anything, so that was a good thing. So it was coming together. Here we're going to get ready to start sanding on the exterior case. Okay, we are going to get this thing sanded and all masked off and hopefully get a coat of paint on it today. Take this off. Okay, so here we are sanding the, what do you call it, the top cover of the motor, if you will. It had already been primed from the previous owner. He was in a process of restoring it. So what it is, he worked at a boat and marine shop, and they finally went through all the old inventory and was getting rid of all the old motors. So he grabbed several of them. Some were very antique. I mean, they were old. And he was in the process of restoring this one when he found a different one that he wanted to use on his boat. He was going to use this particular motor. So then he put it on Facebook Marketplace. We found it. And it is just about the perfect size for the JON boat. Really didn't want anything bigger, that's for sure. Could have got away with a smaller motor, but for the price that I got this for, just I could not beat it. So what I'm doing is just sanding the primer that he already had on it, trying to get the little imperfections out, little bubbles out, because I plan on painting it back to the original colors. The original Evinrude colors. I'm going to get the decals for it and try to get it original. So here I am getting some of the white paint's already been primed, and the just spray paint and just some regular Rust-Oleum spray paint. Like I said, I was keeping this boat as budget friendly as possible so that any do-it-yourselfer can do what I'm doing on this particular project. I'm by no means an expert. I've never restored a boat before or a motor. This is a first. But I think it's turning out pretty good. Definitely had to be budget friendly. You know, I mean, you can get carried away on restorations. You can make them like brand new. I didn't do that. I simply sanded down what was there. Use rattle can primer, rattle can paint. You can get all the old decals now online, about anywhere. Also, it's not a 1973. It is a 1972. When I pulled the serial number on it, let's realize it's actually a 1972 Evinrude 18 horse. So that's what we have, and that's the decals that I bought for it. So what we're doing here is getting ready to cut our new bunk boards. That is treated lumber, and I already waterproofed the treated lumber with Thompson Water Seal, gave it a double whammy. These particular bunk boards need to be about 76 inches long. When you see the boat trailer here coming up, you'll see why I made them that long, to fit the boat. When you see what was on the trailer, you'll understand why. So here I'm just simply cutting them off to size at this point here. Pretty simple. I never did it before as far as the bunk boards. Watched a few videos. Anybody, like I said, with any kind of handyman skills and handful of tools can do this kind of work. We have carpet, bunk board carpet, black, nice and pretty. It should match the gray that's out there. Nice contrast. Because, you know, you got to contrast everything. You can't just have everything one color. At least that's what my wife says. So, got this on Amazon. We're going to carpet these, see what happens. There is a method to my madness. We got the boat 99% done. We've got to get the trailer done so we can get the boat on the trailer, so I can get the motor on the boat so we can go test it. So I've got to get this trailer done, but the weather has not cooperated. I do not have room to have the trailer in the basement to work on it. So I have to work outside. Well, I'm not going to work outside in crappy weather. It's just the way it's going to be. So that's what's taking a while, but we got to get this done. Let's put the carpet on. You are going to need a staple gun. You're going to need some 3/8 staples. You are going to need a utility knife. You are going to need some scissors, and you're going to need a measuring tape. If you do not have these items, just get someone else to do it for you. Let's see what we got. Okay, guys, one thing I have discovered: I am not an upholsterer. That is for sure. Or a staple gun setter down there person. Okay guys, going to show you what we've done to the boat trailer for the 14-foot John boat that we are restoring. Put a new 2-inch tongue on it. I fixed the safety chains underneath it. I put a new ratchet for the boat and a new lift for the boat. Now, the next project is to replace these bunk boards. I don't think this is how they're supposed to be. If they are, well, that's a poor design. We have some new wood and some new carpet. We're going to make some new bunk boards. We have some new brackets. We're going to put that on. Stay tuned. Let's see what they look like. What we got to do is remove these right here. Okay, they got to go. We got new ones, so here we go. So here I am trying to get these old bunk boards off, and of course all the old bolts and nuts are completely rusted. The wood was just not rotten enough. If it was rotten, I'd have been able to pull it off. But what I ended up doing was whatever bolts and nuts wouldn't come off because of the rust, I just simply took the grinder or the Sawzall with a metal cutting blade and I cut them off. I wasn't fooling with it. I wanted to just get them off so I could get going on the new restoration. Sometimes it's just easier to cut stuff off than it is to try to get them unbolted. But I always try to unbolt them first. If they do, and sometimes they come right off, I'm very happy. Sometimes they don't. So I believe these kind of came off, so I was pretty happy about that. So, as you can see, the bolts came out of the bunk boards, but the bolts holding the old brackets to the trailer did not unbolt. So here we're taking a cutting wheel and a grinder, and we are simply going to cut them off. Sometimes they come off the easy way, sometimes they come off the hard way. They chose the hard way, so I'm like, all right. You want to be stubborn or not come off? Well, we'll take the, as old Puddin would say on his channel, take the slice and dice to it and cut them off. Now I will say this, a cutting wheel on a grinder, and this is just a Harbor Freight grinder with some Harbor Freight cutting wheels. Like I said, anybody can do this. Anyone can get these simple tools. Very inexpensive, and it was just much easier to cut the rusted bolts off because we have all new brackets anyway. Look at that, comes right off. Boom, done. Very simple. We got it done. I'm all about simple. I don't like things being too complicated. I don't think anybody does. But the point here is that anyone can do this. That is any kind of a handyman or can work with their hands somewhat. So here I have my new brackets, which I got off of Amazon. Most of this boat paraphernalia, what I couldn't buy at Walmart, I got off of Amazon. These are bunk board brackets, universal. They'll fit about any trailer for a small boat, that is. Bolt right with some U-bolts right to the trailer, and then simply mount your bunk boards right to the brackets once you figure out where they go. So I took some measurements of the boat and then transferred those measurements to the trailer, figuring out exactly where I want them to be. So what I want with my bunk boards, I want it to run. My boat is 36 inches, okay? 18 inches is the center. If I come over 14 inches, that puts my bunk board right in the center of the flat spot. So my boat can ride right up on it, which is exactly what I want. So, I gotta find the center, which is right here. Come over 14 inches so I can locate this. Let's verify this is the center. So right here, this is we're assembling the new brackets for the bunk boards. We got them located. I like the fact that they're bolt on. Very simple. You don't need a welder. You don't have to drill anything. They're universal, fully adjustable. Like I said, they'll fit most any boat trailer. And they work out perfect for a do-it-yourselfer.
I don't know why that's...
It's anyone can do this. Hey guys, the new bunk boards are on. Look at that. Boop, doo, doo, doo. Got the new clamps front and back. Get rid of them old, I don't know what those were. I guess they were bunk boards. Now the next project is we got to get the lights off here and the wiring. Put our new lights and wiring on. Then we got to pull the tires off, see what shape they're in, and see what shape the bearings are in. Once that's fixed, other than cleaning and a little bit of paint, the boat trailer will be ready for the boat. Hey guys, here we are back on the John boat restoration. We are still working on the trailer. We are getting ready to run our wiring for the new lights. We have mounted the lights. I'm going to show you in a minute. Here we go. We mounted the new lights. These are LED waterproof lights. Little side marker lights right there. See them? Oh, how pretty. Now we got to pull the wire through the tongue. I left the existing wires in there from the old lights. So we will tape it to it, pull them through to feed it, and then we'll have to run it on the inside of the channel here. All right, guys, thing of beauty. There's the carpet on top, the deck we built. Can put a seat right here. There's the compartment in there. You see all that space up in there. Here's the light I mounted on the front, as well as the smaller lights here and here. Here's the other compartment to get in there. Eventually that'll be battery for a trolling motor. Put the cleats on. Anchor, of course. Now this interior paint, this is an oil base. This was Krylon, khaki color oil base. And I was able to sand the aluminum and paint it directly, and it stuck, and it stuck well. Of course, we got a seat here. I made it a compartment here. What I did here is the nets. You can buy these at Lowe's or Home Depot. I just cut them and simply laid them in here in between instead of putting a floor in the boat. The paddle mounted that. It's from betterboat.com. Mounted a Humminbird Helix 7. Got the cover for it here. Fish finder, so when you're driving the boat, can use the fish finder. Okay, see, there's the other paddle, the floor. Here's my safety whistle, the wiring. I ran through here and around and back. You'll see all that. Of course, you can see the paint job now, how well that turned out. That is total boat paint, jonboat green. Fuel tank, 1972 Evinrude, 18 horse. And buddy, it'll make this boat go almost 30 miles an hour. Probably a little too much motor. There's the fish finder. Motor, thing of beauty. Put a bilge pump in here. Pump the water out. Of course, the light on the back here. Cut off switch. All the switches for everything. There's the battery compartment. So this is the finished product, guys. It's turned out pretty nice. Like I said, one thing left will be the trailer motor. Now, let's talk trailer. Here's what we did on the trailer. Put a new tongue. Put a new ratchet. Safety chain. New safety chain down here. A new lift. Brand new spare tire. Okay. New tires and hubs and bearings, all brand new. These are radial highway tires. All new tail lights. Marker light over there. Wired it all up. Of course, these so you can see to pull your boat in. Does have the new bunk boards on it for the trailer. Yes, sir. She's a nice, pretty nice Jon boat. Worked out pretty good. Thing of beauty.